So you know we're working on, or let me ask actually, who knows what we worked on the last couple times in class? I know, it's such a question on a Monday. Close.
The hinge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And they had to do
Oh yeah.
the cross. Do this.
Yes. Yeah, not the cross.
That's right. Let's just call it, we're going to call it the lumbar dorsal hinge.
Yeah.
Lumbar dorsal backside hinge. Because this is the point off of which your physical energy, and your energetic body too, but your physical body moves from. So like Renata was showing, that the arm comes from this movement here of the pelvis as opposed to just this, which you could do, but you know what? Even then, I still see myself coming from here. You know, if you just came from there, it'd be weird. Right?
But it's easier.
But it's
We're
easier.
into bad habits.
Yeah. Fragmented is often easier. So, so this lumbar dorsal hinge, and using the back body. So the back body is what we would call it. If you go ahead and stand like this, now move your energy towards the front of the body or the front body, and now move it towards the back body. Move it to the front, and now move it to the back. Good. Now move it only slightly to the front. Good. And slightly to the back. What do you feel the difference between the two besides the actual shifting?
Between the two, by moving a lot or moving a little bit?
Oh, between the front and the back.
Ah.
And a lot in the little
It's
too.
easier on the front. For me,
It's easier in the front, okay.
Just down. The back is a lot of imagination. You know, I have to work in my mind. That's, you know, the front I feel it more in the body, but the back I have to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do have to think about it. It's true.
It's a relatively new experience for me.
The
To
back.
just be thinking
Yeah,
about
me too.
the back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me
coming
too.
from the back.
It's like more new.
Dancing
We
from
don't
the back. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we contact to the front all the time.
We contact to the front all the time. And yet the back, okay, so in yoga they teach the difference between the frontal brain and the back brain. And in the frontal brain, we look at things and we take them and we pull them apart and we say, oh, this, that. And in the back brain, we go, we see the whole thing. So in the front brain, we see the clouds, we see the birds, then we see the sun. And in the back brain, we see the whole magnificent picture of it in a holistic whole sort of way. It would be the same thing as if you see a problem and you see all these little things, but if you step back and you really look at it, you see this huge dynamic going on between things. So it would be always helpful to be more in the back brain, because the back brain is going to see a much larger picture, than the front. And then the front gets caught in all these little things, and that's what ends up happening when we get caught. So in the back, you'll be more powerful. The spine is what we're trying to wake up from, and if anybody's ever had lower back or neck problems, or headaches, did I get everyone so far? Right, yeah, then you see the spine is what we're working here, and the spine is working in order to support the brain. If the spine functions well, then the brain is supported. If the spine does not function well, the head and the brain, the cranium that sits on top of it, has much harder time staying in balance. So that's the basic idea of using the back body in order to fire off all the nerves, both in front of the vertebrae, on the frontal part and the dorsal part of the vertebrae. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kinda. I'm giving you a little science, you know, so that you see that it's not just an energetic thing that we just made up. You know, that it's got some basis behind it that will actually really help. Like I always say, you'll thank me when you're 80 or 90, maybe not now, sort of like raising kids. You'll go, oh, you know, what she's saying now. All right, so let's begin dancing. Go ahead, question, Olga.
You did make a remark once before about how information comes in as well to the brain. I think most of us think in terms of the brain making the rest of the body work.
Yes.
But the fact that information comes in order to get information to the brain, it comes
Yes.
in through the body.
That's right. I like how you're using your back body right now. Yes, she is. With one foot behind, she's going right into it. Yes, information comes in through the entire body, not just the five senses, right? Which are primarily here. Of course, one of the five senses is touch. But you receive, I'm going to say, you know, you receive more information through gut instinct right here than you do the brain. In fact, so I call this the first brain, this is the second brain. And the first brain always knows. And then the second brain backs it up. Says, oh, this is what that is, right? So in terms of our deepest functioning of just making our way around to a proper place in the world, this is it. So let's go ahead and step in.